Today we're going to be looking at the coins in this stack right here. This is my last video of coins that I've purchased at the Tennessee State Numismatic Society convention held twice a year in Chattanooga, Tennessee. These coins were picked up in February, so it's taken me a couple of months to record this video. Their next show is in November. It's in the East Ridge suburb of Chattanooga. Every year, if you're interested in going, there's always a couple hundred dealers and a small number that do carry foreign coins, which is what I like to find. This specific dealer, I see it pretty much every show I go to in the Tennessee area. They always have a big green tote that says foreign coins cheap, and I will agree that many of the coins that they have in there are at a good price, and these are included in that. I oftentimes find silver coins pretty close to spot price and other coins that you just don't see that often, and so I think I have these ranked in what I paid for every coin. And we're going to start off with this coin from Reunion. This one only cost me 25 cents. It is the coin from Reunion that I tend to see the most often, the 1 franc, made out of aluminum. And Reunion is a coin that is a French territory. And this comes from a time when a lot of their territories had a look just like this one. The date's going to be 1964. It's KM 6.1 and has a book value of $2. This one is inside of a flip that I actually want to point out the flip if you've never seen one of these before. This is the kind of flip that is, it's not as clear, and it's the actual kind of flip that you don't want actually touching coins. Because of the PVC that is in these, you tend to find these from the current made in China flips or ones from 30 or 40 years ago and older, when people didn't realize that these flips with PVC in them can cause chemical reactions to your coins over time and corrode them and just make them all gross. And so you don't want to be using these flips. So I want to go ahead and take that one off. My coin was safe because it was in one of these little cardboard flips to go inside of it. But here's a before World War I era German coin made out of iron, a 5 pfennig coin from 1917. One thing I like about this dealer is they tend to have a higher price that's marked down to a much better price. This one doesn't book for $2. I think this one books for about 50 cents. So we will forget that part on here, but the 5 pfennig coin is KM19. And flip this one over, and like a lot of German coins at the time, this one is more corroded, and I'm wondering if someone tried to dip it in silver at some time or plated it, but that's might be one of the reasons why it's kind of cheap, was the condition on this side. Someone did something to this at one point for it, I guess. I have trouble seeing the mint mark, which would probably be somewhere along the bottom here in a really tiny letter. This next coin is actually going to be one of the ones I'm the happiest about, because this comes from a time in about 90 to 100 years ago when they used the 1 centavo of this time, where it's a really large number and the C with the slash going through it behind it. Those are pretty easy to find. On rare occasions, I'll find I think there was a 2 and a 5, but I've never seen the 10, and I didn't even know they made a 20. So here's the 20 centavos, and as you can see on the price here, it's 50 cents is what I paid for this one. But this was they only made this in, if my notes are right, in 1920 and 1935. This is the one from 1935. They say instead of a KM number, they have Y33 on this one. My catalog says KM 437. In this condition, they say this coin books for $10, and that's just how rare it is. So I was very happy to have that. I mean, I probably would have considered paying $6 for this one. But as you can see, this one has been in a flip for a long time, and I probably need to change that into a better flip. It's falling apart. But you've got the old like you see on all Mexican coins, a different variation of the snake being caught by an eagle standing on a cactus from Mexico. So I was really happy to pick this one up. So the country that we know today of Italy was 100 in the 1800s and older, was a bunch of smaller states that eventually moved together to form Italy. And whoever carded this coin did not go to the trouble to look up the actual country that this coin was. So they just had it labeled as Italian state. And I figured that I would pour through my 1800s catalog until I found which country it was. And it turns out to be Lombardy-Venetia. Venetia is Venice, so that is a part of Italy that you've probably heard of. The catalog number, they give it a C number of 30.2, and I don't remember all of what the C stands for or the variations here, but let's see, 3 centesimi from 1852 with a V Venice mint mark. And so I think this was originally part of the Holy Roman Empire. And a lot of countries came out of there with a double eagle look on the back. Actually, I see Impero Austria, so part of, at one point must have been part of the Austrian Empire on here. While I'm thinking about it, one note I should have said about the 20 centavos, the reason you don't see it very often is most of the time the 20 centavos during that area was made out of silver, and for a couple of years they did not make it out of silver, which is what made it so rare. Moving on. Coins from the 1800s keep coming in. Here is another one from Chile from 1853. Has a large star in the middle of it. I did pay $1.25 for this one. This one's going to be KM 127, and this is what they called their large cent or centavo. Un centavo. So trying to read the words. It probably stands for economy. Is riqueza. I don't know what that translates to mean, but I have a note on here that this is the coin rotation variety, which means when you flip it like this, it's always going to stand up. Heads, or this side will be up on top. If you had to flip it this way to get it on top, then it would be what you would call a metal rotation variety. So there were two different versions of this Chilean 1 centavo coin. This is the last year that they made the large 1 centavo. This coin was labeled British, and I have several British £1, but nothing with a skull on it. So I went ahead and picked this one up. It has a year of 2013, and this is actually from Gibraltar. And on this side, you can see the word Gibraltar right here on the text, and so it has as a legend here, discovery of Neanderthal skull in Gibraltar in 1848. So I guess this is the 165th anniversary of that. They decided to finally celebrate this with their £1 coin. And then here is our portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, where it says Queen of Gibraltar. So a little bit of a different look on that side of the coin as well. This one is KM 1091, and this is the circulating £1 coin ever since 2005, at least until they changed the portrait of the Queen. This one books for $1.75. Here we have a larger coin from the Philippines. This is a 5 peso coin with the design that was seen on a lot of their coins around this time from 1975. So this one is going to celebrate September 21st, 1972 with Ferdinand Marcos. And so I have some coworkers from the Philippines who have given me an education on Ferdinand Marcos. And it's safe to say that he is not one of the most liked people in the history of the Philippines. That is quite the understatement, I would say. But when he was first the leader there, he was actually kind of popular, and he put himself on the 5 peso coin at this time. In fact, his son is now the current leader of the Philippines as of 2023. And so that is causing people to wonder if the record books are being rewritten out that way. But this one is 210.1. It was the first 5 peso coin that was ever made in the Philippines. And it's KM 210.1, and there is a point 2 where there is different text written on a ribbon on this coin. I'm not sure if it's this one or some of the text here where it says Marcos right here at the bottom. There is a variety of this coin. This one was priced accurately at $1.50. Here we have a coin from Japan that reminds me of, with the dragon that's on it, it reminds me a lot of the Chinese coins from about this era. This one is 1881. Has one thing that those of us who can read our alphabet can understand. It has 2 sen written on this coin, and so have to remember which side is up on here, which side of the dragon is up, and I'm having trouble figuring it out. It is a coin that's 140 years old, sort of well worn. Maybe that side is up on it. Let's go ahead and flip this one over, and this little round character here usually implies that it is Japan. There's the number 2. That is their symbol for sen. And so in Japan, 100 sen make up 1 yen, and today's yen is worth a little less than an American 1 cent. So that kind of gives you the idea of what the spending power is on this one. In 1881, this coin is also going to say year 14, as they, instead of give a calendar year, they give the year of the reign of the emperor on here. And why 18.2? The 0.2 means this is a reduced weight version of the coin. And when I paid $1.50 for this one, the book value is $3.50. Another French territory. This time we have French Indo-China. That is going to be a collection of countries such as Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia that were French territories that they combined to call French Indochina. Of course, this coin is not only corroded, but also has a look of being cleaned on it. The one thing I like about here is it actually tries to give the weight of the coin. The word poids there is their word for pounds, I think. And so they're actually saying this is 0 pounds, but it's 0 pounds, 10 grams is the weight of this coin in copper. The 1 cent coin from 1892 with an A or Paris mint mark on here. This is KM1. And there is a design on here. At first, I was wondering if that is the Statue of Liberty on this coin. If you're not aware of the story, the United States Statue of Liberty was originally a gift from France. This is not the Statue of Liberty, but when you see the spiky head decoration on here, it kind of makes me think of that. But that is something that we've seen on other French coins from about that time. And so with this condition where it's corroded and potentially cleaned at the same time, I'm giving this one just a book value of $1.50. Now we're moving into, this is going to be our first silver coin. This one is from Mexico. It is a 10 centavos coin from 1903. I did pay $2 for this one. This side has Republica Mexicana. They didn't keep those words on their coins. I believe the country changed not too long after this, but when we flip this one over, you may have seen where I wrote mom, or someone wrote mom on the other side. And what that means is the mint mark here is M with a little O is for Mexico City, and then they put another M on it. And then next to that, they have the silver purity on here, which is 0.902. And I don't know why they just didn't make it 900 like US and other countries, but it is what it is. So a 0.902 fineness of silver with a silver content of 0.0766, which just doing math in my head here, that's going to be $1.65 or so in silver at today's prices. So for $2, that's not that bad when just in numismatic value. This coin books for $2.50. So happy to have this one. It is KM 404.2, and the 0.2 probably does refer to the MOM mint mark. This was made from 1898 to 1905. And looking in my notes here, not only is it 0.902, but it's well worn off, but there's a 7 there also. So there's a comma 7, so it's 0.9027 silver on here. So they're really got it down to the decimal points there. These days, the Russians make a lot of commemorative coins, especially on their 10 rubles and up coins. Pretty much anything 3 and up could be a commemorative these days. A lot to look at here. First of all, this is a 10 rubles coin. If you look at all the little lines in the middle of the 0 of the 10, depending on how I hold the angle here, it's got the security feature where if you hold it just right, you can see the abbreviation for rubles inside of that. So that is a security design where you see an etch into it at just a certain angle. This is from 2008, and this is the modern Moscow mint mark. So it's an M with a second M that's kind of has a circle written around it. So that is the Moscow mint. This comes from a series of ancient towns. This coin from 2008. So we're going to flip this one over. And I cannot read Cyrillic, so I had to look up what this one stood for. This is the ancient town of Priozersk, and it celebrates the town's feature of the Gate Tower. That's what is shown here. And a catalog number of Y994. See, this also has the city's flag featured on the coin. So I have a couple of others from this series. Here is a place that you just do not see very often. It is a French territory, and if I were to tell you that today in North America there is a territory that is still owned and controlled by France, would you believe me? Well, it is. Now, they haven't made coins for them in 70 years or so. This one is from 1948. We flip this one over, and it is the territory of Saint Pierre and Miquelon. This is the 2 francs coin. I already had the 1 franc aluminum coin, and so this one is the 2 francs coin. They only made 2 coins ever. Now I have a complete set, so hooray for that. This one is 1948A, so this does mean it was made in Paris. This is KM2 as the second coin. And see, there are, if you've never heard of St. Pierre and Miquelon, it is a tiny country off the coast of Canada. About 6,000 people live there today. And this one books for $4.50. Several silver coins coming up in a row. This one is from Panama, where they made their coins the same size and silver purity content, the same as United States coins. They've pegged their currency to the United States. And so this is a half a Balboa. So it's the same size and weight as a United States Kennedy half dollar. and silver content. So I paid $4 for this one. And just like the United States in 1966, it is 40% silver, which gives it a silver weight of 0.1479. And doing some quick math on that, that's about $3.35, I'm going to say, on here. So there are different versions of this coin sometimes where the details on these coins are a little bit thicker than some others. And so that, based on the changed silver content, at one point it was 90%, then it became 40%. This is KM12A.1. And there is another variety of 12A.2, and it has to do with the helmet on here. On this version of the coin, when we look at the helmet, you can definitely see the line going across it. You can see the shape of the helmet. The version 2 of this coin is this spot right here is reduced to the point where there's an area where you can't see where the hat ends and the face begins on here. So there is a variety of this coin that some people look out for. So these usually sell for spot price. Here is a French 10 franc coin from 1932. This is a design that they actually used without silver after this one. So this is when they made their coins out of 68% silver. In 1932, I did pay $5 for it. It books for $4.50. So the silver content on this one is 0.2186. That's roughly $4.50. So this one was pretty close to spot price. So the design of this coin, KM878, changed to copper nickel in 1945. Here is a silver commemorative coin from 1994 with Deke Ferenc, 1803 to 1876. This one is 50% silver. He is listed as a statesman on Wikipedia. KM707, this is a 200 forint is the value of this coin. 0.1929 there in the corner, so that's about $4.40 in silver. Book value is going to be $6 on this one. This bridge that's on this coin does appear on some other Hungarian coins. It's one of the most prominent bridges in Hungary, where the capital is Budapest, and it is the Erzsébet Bridge, which crosses the Danube. And at that location, the cities of Buda and the city of Pest were joined by a bridge to become Budapest, which is the capital of Hungary. KM707. This coin has some definite damage. When we get to the other side, was probably mounted in jewelry at one time. So this one certainly is close to spot price. It is a coin from Spain from 1870. It's a 2 pesetas coin. We get a really good look of the Spanish coin design at that time. I do think it's interesting how at the time it has words that I would call these English words. They're probably also Spanish words. We see plus and ultra. So this is a plus ultra coin. 100 pesos in kilogramo probably is describing the weight of this coin. Let's see. There's also the Mintmaster initials here of DEM on this coin. KM674, flip it over. This is where you can see the damage on the coin, but that is worth about, might be even worth over $5.50 in silver today. Here we have a date of 1870, but Spanish coins even back then did the thing where the main date was the date that they first made it. The actual date appears in a star on here. And this one is too well worn that I can't really tell that it's a 73, but I can tell because of other features like the Plus Ultra that we saw earlier and the DEM Mintmaster initials. This one's KM654. It's 0.835 silver fineness on this one. And this one is the figure that is shown on the coin here is what they would call the national personification. So they try to draw a person as uh, one person representing what all of Spain is like. And that's the figure that we see on this coin. Here's a newer coin from Germany, 1972 with an F mint mark. It's a German 10 mark coin, KM 135 with a fineness of 0.625. This one is in honor of the Munich Olympics, 1972 Olympics. Paid $7, and so about $6.80 of silver in today's value. So we're again really close to spot on here. Here we have another coin that is both damaged and cleaned. So even though it's 130 years old, we can get it for close to spot price. This one is from Prussia. It says 3 mark on here, but it's actually the 2 mark coin from 1891 with an A Berlin mint mark. It's KM 522, 90% silver. Features Wilhelm II on here. Prussia did become part of Germany later on. There is the A mint mark here at the very bottom. Whoever put this wrote it as fine plus as the condition. And with a 0.3215, that is pretty close to $7 of silver. Here we have a, 2 is Zui in Zui mark on here. And then we see the eagle that appears on a lot of German coins, or coins that eventually became part of Germany. If I didn't say it earlier, KM 522. Here's a coin that I came very close to purchasing off of eBay before going to the show, and I'm glad I didn't because I didn't pay the $25, but I actually paid $9 for this one. So this is 1813, so 210 years old, from the British controlled island of Isle of Man. They accidentally said Ireland on this coin, but the design of this coin is very similar to a British coin of that time, and so I think this is in fantastic shape for a British controlled coin from that old. George III, so people remembering their American history will remember that name on here. This is a half penny, and I like the design that they had during this era where it's got the raised edge with the letters carved into it. So it doesn't say half penny on here anywhere. You just kind of know that if you lived there at the time based on the metal content and the size. And the coins from Isle of Man are known for having this little 3-legged symbol on it. I believe that's pronounced the Triskelion. And the meaning or the purpose of this is wherever you throw it, it will stand. So, of course, if you think of something that has 3 legs, there's no way you could throw it where it wouldn't land on a leg is kind of the point of that. So, yeah, I'm very happy to have found this one in that condition. This is the last coin of the video, and it's the largest, has the largest amount of silver, and this one feature is from Austria, is a 50 shilling coin, and this coin features Johann Strauss. And this is the 100th anniversary, that's what Jahre means, anniversary, of the Blue Danube Waltz. And so Strauss was also often pictured playing the violin, which is what he's doing right here on the 100th anniversary of the Blue Danube Waltz. Here is our design of 50 shillings, And so uh, Austria in their language is Österreich. And as we look at the back here, there are a bunch of shields. The shield at the very top is the shield of Austria, and there are 9 states or provinces, I believe, that make up the country of Austria, and each of them has their own shield, which is also pictured here on the back. So this one is KM 2902. It's 90% silver, which gives us a silver content of 0.5787. So that's going to be over $13 worth of silver on today's prices. All right, hope you enjoyed some of these nicer coins that I picked up. Thanks for watching. Bye.